Hey guys, Ernie here and welcome to the Paleo Hiker MD channel. Over the last couple of years, we have looked at many stoves, including the most up-to-date and state-of-the-art technology out there. Well, that is not the case today. Let's look at one of the longest standing standards in the outdoor industry from the standpoint of stoves, the Svea 123 from Optimus. Thanks for watching, guys. The Svea 123, or in this case the 123R, is a pressurized white gas or naphtha stove. It was originally made in Sweden, but now, like most things, is made in Taiwan. The Svea 123 was introduced in 1955, and a little later down the road, the 123R was released. The original 123 model had a downward slanting valve assembly. I'll show you guys a picture here. The 123R is at a right angle, and that's how you can know the difference if you're looking at buying one of these. The 123 had one moving part, which was the control valve, and the 123R added a second moving part, the self-cleaning needle. So here is our stove. I'll show you what comes with it. Now it has this little top. This is the original, okay? Now the one that I ordered did not come with this handle, so I actually bought this off eBay, so it's a reproduction, and it's just a handle for this top. Very simple. And the top, of course, functions as a small cup if you want it to. We won't use it today because I want to do a 2-cup bowl test. It is a pretty nice little feature. If you're just drinking a cup of coffee, something like that, this works great. Here's our stove. Dimensions are 3.9 by 5.1. Weight, empty, is 18 ounces. The fuel capacity is 4 ounces. It is made of solid brass. The price, you can easily buy these from a low of about $80 up to $130, $140, just depends. You can see mine has quite a little patina to it. The windscreen comes off. You just twist it off like that. It's got this little key right here, which is how you control the gas flow. It has this little bell inside. If you take off this little bell, it's very hard to see. But again, you can see where this is 90 degrees, okay? And that is the difference between the R and the regular 123. This was actually sold as a different name. I can't remember what the name is. I'll put it down below if I remember to. You can take all this apart. I've taken it all apart. I replaced quite a few parts and pieces of it to get it working really, really well. This one does say made in Sweden, so I would assume that it is made in Sweden. You know, it's hard. I'll talk a little bit later about trying to date these and figure out whether or not you have one that's made in Sweden or not. You can buy brand new versions of this that are made in Taiwan. So basically, you can see there's a little tip right here. You will not be able to see it, I'm going to tell you guys, but when you open this up all the way, the needle will come up through the hole and clear out all the carbon deposits and stuff. That's the self-cleaning needle that makes the difference between the R and the non-R version. Put this right back. Now the way this works is you have to build up heat and pressure inside of this tank. Once you get that pressure up, you can do it either through an optional pump that you can put onto the gas cap right here, or just put some fuel, or what I usually use is alcohol gel, which I think is a little bit cleaner. That's where this residue is from. When you heat up this area, you create pressure inside of this gas tank. Inside of the tank, there's a cotton wick. That's what draws up the naphtha or the white gas, and once you vaporize it, it shoots through that jet you saw earlier, and that's how you get your flame going. It is felt to be one of the most reliable stoves ever made. It is dead simple. Let's show you guys how to crank it up, and then we're going to boil some water. So as you can see, there's like a little primer pan in here, okay? And what I like to do, you can put excess fuel, like I said earlier. I like to use alcohol gel. I think it works very well. It's a little bit safer, especially when I'm doing things indoors, which I am doing here for demonstration purposes, and because it is 107 degrees outside. You can also just put this thing out in that 107 degree heat, and that heat itself will get it primed pretty quickly. So what we're gonna do, I'm gonna grab myself a lighter here. We're just gonna light this up. Okay, now that's lit. Let me turn down the lights for you guys a little bit. There we go. So you can see the flame. I'm going to turn this over just a little bit. You can see very well the flame. What it's doing is heating up not only underneath, which is where the fuel is, but also heating up the valve mechanism. So we're just going to let it go. You want to let it burn until it's basically out, and usually you do not have to use another flame to get it going. Just let it be. It takes just, it takes a little bit. You got to be patient with it, but that's exactly what you want it to look like. Now, it's not uncommon for it to kind of spurt and not run super smooth at first. That's one of the things that I ran into. I didn't think it was running really well, but basically it just took time to get going. So once you get it going, you want to just let it burn for a little while, and it will do its thing. Another thing is that this stove gets very hot when it's running, so just be careful of that as well. The reason that I like the alcohol gel is because it's so easy to control. When you just spill or put extra naphtha or white gas in, it works just fine, but it's very sooty, has a lot of soot, and if it spills just a little bit, it's much more dangerous, whether it be outdoors or indoors. But because I do a lot of my testing indoors during the heat of the summer, and if you're looking at using it more indoors, I would use this. Now you're seeing it starting to go out, so what you want to do is get your key and just open it just a bit. Now it's going, so there we go. And there's your stove. Now that sputtering, in my experience, that's how my stove runs. Now, I don't know if that's normal, if that's right or not. The ones that I see on the internet are a lot that way. You can drop it down quite a bit. And once again, I will tell you guys, it gets hot. If you take this key out and you touch the end of that key, it is hot. We'll turn it up. Got to find that sweet spot. That's as strong as it will go. If you go all the way to the left, that's where you use the clean out, okay, the needle, and you can just turn it off. And that's exactly what we'll do. We'll turn it off. It'll burn off just a little bit extra. Now, my understanding is that that doesn't necessarily have to happen. But again, this is an old stove. You just have to be patient with it. Works absolutely perfectly. Let me get the timer out. Let's boil 2 cups of water and see how she does. All right, we've got 2 cups of water. Let's see if it'll still crank up. I think we should still be under pressure. Here we go. There's a good flame right there. You can see when it restarts after being cool for a little bit, you'll get a little bit of spillage of fuel. It'll go right into that priming pan. Just adjust this to the strongest flame you can get. And let's see how long it takes to get to a boil. Probably won't take too long. All right, it's boiling. And you do want to be careful, guys. This thing gets hot. I'm just telling y'all now, it gets hot. So we've got 4 minutes, 32 seconds for a boil. Pretty nice little boil time. Let me measure out and see how much fuel it used. So 4 minutes, 32 seconds, and it used 9 grams of white gas. That's a look at this awesome looking stove. I've gotten a little more into vintage gear recently. I'm hoping to do more reviews of some vintage gear, maybe even buy some older stoves and try to upgrade them or redo them, restore them, you might say. I have done some work to this particular stove. It didn't work great when I got it, and I bought a repair kit. I put all new innards on it. I put a new wick inside of it, and it seems to work really, really well now. Now you can buy a brand new stove like this that is definitely made in Taiwan, but why not buy an older model like I did? You can pick one up on eBay for a reasonable price. It may be made in Sweden. I don't know if you guys know. I've looked all over the internet. I can't find out when these stoves stopped being made in Sweden and started being made in Taiwan. If any of you guys know that, make sure you leave it down below. I've also tried to find ways to date your stove, and again, I have been unsuccessful in finding a reliable way to date how old your actual stove is. It's not ultralight, it's not flashy, there's nothing about that, it just works. It is known as one of the most bomb-proof designs out there, and I think that's because it has 1 or 2, whichever case your stove might be 1 or 2 moving parts. The more moving parts you have, the more chances you have for failure, so the less you have, it's going to last a long time and work well more consistently. The stove will function in almost any conditions, any temperatures. It will run for a very long time. The 4 ounces that it holds will let it run at high for over an hour. It's a classic design, it's an awesome stove, and I'm very pleased to add it to my collection. Not sure if you guys are aware, but I have an entire playlist on all the stoves that I have and the ones that I have reviewed. I'll leave a link down below if you're interested in that. Do me a favor, guys, if you like the video, hit the thumbs up. It really helps spread things across YouTube and helps my channel out a great deal. If you're not subscribed, make sure you hit the subscription button. And if you want to make sure you're notified when I release new videos, hit that notification bell down below and you'll be the first to know. As always, guys, I really appreciate you checking out the channel. You know, working here on YouTube and doing these videos is an absolute labor of love. It is a lot of work. You have times when you're having a great time. You have times when you feel overburdened. And I've kind of taken a little bit of time off recently. And I'm pushing to make quite a few videos here in the next week or two. And then I'm going to take a little break and enjoy some time off. But you guys will get plenty of content because I got plenty of videos coming your way. As always, guys, I appreciate you checking out the Paleo Hiker MD channel. Stay tuned for more videos soon.